Hey, did you know that in this recent Operation Sindoor, there was a two forward posts have been protected and defended by seven BSF women personnel, and they defended two forward posts for 36 hours. Did you know this? If not, then please stay around. I'm going to walk you through about their victory and their work and their dedication, the kind of job they have done. So they basically refused to offer to withdraw by male colleagues and inflicted heavy damage on enemy positions. So what happens is basically it was literally a baptism by the fire of the young women BSF personnel they deployed in the international border of Jammu and Kashmir, specifically more Akhnoor sector where they were participating during the Operation Sindoor. And to be precise, the team was leading by the Assistant Commandant Neha Bhandari, who joined the force barely, I think, 3 years ago. But she was absolutely seized by once in a lifetime kind of opportunity because she engaged the enemy forces in active combat, arguably becoming the first women officer to do so, since the army is yet to utilize the women, personnel for such roles, half a dozen. I mean, nothing personal and no differences because in Indian Army, basically, they are still using women most of the time for signaling and other departments or clerical or maybe nurse work. But this is in paramilitary, specifically in BSF, this is a whole together different because these ladies, they are fighting the real world combat. They're fighting the terrorists, they're fighting the rangers, Pakistani rangers. They have pretty much demolished them, destroyed them to the ashes. The half dozen women BSF personnel fearlessly defended two forward posts in Akhnoor with basically with the sustained and heavy retaliatory fire from Pakistan Rangers, and they also made sure that in Sialkot and the Akhnoor, both the posts, they have defended 3 days, 3 nights, guys. So it's absolutely more than 64 hours. Sorry, 36 hours. The women Seema Prahari, which is also BSF's another name, they basically stopped only when the excessive damage caused by their flat trajectory of the area, the weapons they forced on the enemy to step back and abandon their forward locations. So they made them to leave your ranger posts, and when until they left, our ladies were on fire. They're just pushing them back. So of the 6 BSF women guarding the forward posts under Assistant Commander Bhandari's, so they had 4 of them. These out of the 7 BSF personals, 4 of these ladies they joined in 20 recently, basically, while 2 others they have been in the service from past 17 years. And other than the assistant commander, which is Neha Bhandari. So they pretty much if I have to give their where they're belonging from. So one lady, she is Manjot Kaur, who is basically working more than 17 years, and she's from Punjab. And other ladies, they are from, one is Sapna Rath and then Shampa Bashak. Both the ladies from West Bengal. And we have Sumi, she is basically from Jharkhand. And then we have Jyoti Baniyan, she is from Odisha. So these you can see from our most of the ladies from Punjab, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand. So it's really a proud moment for us. The women personals, how they have defended our nation, and basically they said like the kind of weapons training and the mental resilience to test their in a near war like situation when they went through during their training. So they resisted. They said it has presented itself within a couple of years of joining. They said this is the opportunity that we have been trained for. So if we are not given such opportunity to show the kind of our work, the kind of training that we have went through, I think this is the best time. And they decided, basically the led by the assistant commander Neha Bhandari, she said this is the best time to show our capability, what women can do. And this Operation Sindoor basically unfolded and triggered heavy firing and shelling from Pakistan, and they basically gave them the reply. So they said, no, this is just to counter the male counterpart. They said we are guarding this post and we are not leaving this post until we make sure that we damage those Pakistani Rangers posts, and they did so. So they basically, once they decided this, so BSF DIG of that sector, he also came and motivated the entire team, and he said, yes, this is something you can do it. And basically, so that she independently took the decision on the weapons and artillery to be deployed, because this is the first instance for a women officer commanding in active combat. Even the army is still, like I said, army is still utilizing women personnel for non-combat roles like signals, nurse, and other works. So it's underwritten by the heavy shelling from Pakistani posts barely 150 meters away. And she said they ensured that our forces retaliated with full and fierce firepower, and the enemy posts suffered immense damage. The Pakistani Rangers were forced to shut down their firing, and they had to leave their posts. And that's exactly brought us to the story of May 7th and 10th, when the ladies, they took their job, the duty on the May 7th, and until May 10th, they made sure they are defending these two forward posts. And these two forward posts are really, really crucial, guys. If you do not know the map of Jammu and Kashmir, so when she's saying 150 meters from the international border, she's talking about the Jammu, the Akhnoor sector, as well as the Sialkot. So very strategic points, not even LOC, international border, 150 meters away. So you can understand what kind of artillery shelling they were facing. And these are the ladies, they showed the real power of women empowerment. So these are the two stories I wanted to share. Once I have mentioned in the previous podcast, if you haven't gone through, make sure you listen to that. There was the voyage from our Indian naval officers, the first Indian duo officers, the lieutenant commanders Dimla K and the Rupa. They sailed around the world after end of 239 days. After 25,400 nautical miles voyage, they came back to India. And this story from the 7 BSF women personnel who defended two forward posts for more than 36 hours in very strategic points. One is Akhnoor sector, another one is Sialkot, during the Operation Sindoor. I think we should salute them. They even deserve more than that. And they are the real heroes, and they are the real inspiration for us. Paid actresses, Bollywood actresses specifically, or so-called celebrities, those who don't give a damn about the country, when the country needs everybody's support, when the country needs to stand in unity to fight against terrorism, when unity was required. The Bollywood and these so-called actresses, they were sitting idle, their mouth shut, they don't want to say anything, they do always want to be politically correct. They don't care about the nation, they only care about the money, because they are, at the end of the day, they are like a dancing girl. They can pay the money, they will dance for you. They used to be, it's in Hindi the term called bhand. So these are basically bhands. They used to dance for the kings and the rich people in the older days, and they used to stay out of the city because their lifestyle, the way they live, it's not, you cannot allow them to in a civil societies. But these days, ironically, they make money and they can afford to stay within the society, and they're living within us in our society, and they just take it for granted, and they think what they decide, they will be basically inspired or influence the society. I don't think so. I don't agree with them. I think these are the ladies. They are going to influence them. They are going to motivate and inspire our next generation, the new generation, those who are thinking to join the armed forces, those who are thinking to join something they want to do for the nation. I think these stories needs to be heard, and this is exactly what I'm trying to do in a small way. Thank you so much for sticking it around. I really appreciate that. Namaskar.